Hello, everyone, and welcome into the hospitality room. We are so pleased to have Courtney Mims back. Courtney, how are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me back on the show. I appreciate you guys for wanting to bring me back.
Oh, well, our pleasure, and glad it worked out where you could come back because we had a great time last time. I assume we will have a great time this time. We've got a lot to talk about, so
Yeah, and
let,
I'm gonna beat the clock this time. I am not going to talk too much. I'm gonna beat the
oh,
clock, Blair, okay?
well, hopefully the 2 minute warning kicks in. I think I've got it fixed, so just another little gadget. But let's get right to our topics. First off, we're going to talk football. We'll get to basketball, hopefully. The first college football rankings of the season are out, and this is what they look like. Did anything surprise you in this?
Honestly, I think it was Indiana not being ranked number one overall.
Mm-hmm.
And I know people love Ohio State. I get it. And they've looked really, really good this season. I totally get it. I'm not coming for any Buckeyes fans out there. I'm really not. But when you look at the resumes, right? When you really look
Mm-hmm.
at both resumes, and I definitely think Indiana deserves a high ranking. I think they're the best in the country. And that's not just me. Listen, that's not just me saying that because I love Evan Kamiko over at Pig Trail Nation and him and I are good friends and he's a Hoosiers fan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying
Okay.
that. I'm saying because you look at their resume and look at their ranked wins, right? Ohio
Mm-hmm.
State had some ranked wins, what, Texas and
Yeah.
Washington, right? Okay.
Yep.
I mean, Texas has looked better. Texas has looked better. Washington, I don't think is as impressive when you look at Indiana's
Mm-hmm.
wins over ranked opponents. They had road wins on the road at Oregon and Iowa. And so to
Mm-hmm.
me, I'm going, okay, I think those are a little bit more impressive. I don't know. That's just my opinion. So I think they're more impressive. I think to me, one and two maybe should be interchanged. Ohio State
Yeah.
fans are going to come for me. I get it. Ohio State's very good. I'm not saying they aren't. I just kind of was shocked Indiana was not number one. That's just my opinion there.
Yeah. No, I'm kind of with you on that. Were you surprised at Notre Dame being number 10?
A little bit. I think they were right. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I like Notre Dame. That's the thing. I
Yeah.
like Notre Dame. So yes, but I don't know. I think Notre Dame has had a really tough schedule, and
Mm-hmm.
they've really fought in that schedule, and those losses early on in the season. I feel like the only reason why they're not they look like we're going to say this good losses, right? They
Yeah.
look like
Yeah.
good losses. And so to me, and they were close ones too, close
Yeah.
losses and good losses. So to me, I get why they were ranked 10th. Do I agree with it? We'll see how that pans out. But guys,
Yeah.
I always say this, and this is gonna sound pretty bad, but I don't like the rankings at all. I hate the
Mm-hmm.
rankings. I truthfully don't like rankings. I don't. I think people don't watch all the games. I think people don't. They rank based on records, and they're not actually looking at in depth and looking at every single team, every place. Because I don't care what you say, but it is hard to watch all those games and do all of those. Yes, I get it. Some people can do it, and that's awesome. But even the best at ESPN have said to me, it can be tough to watch every single game. You have to go back and watch things, and you have to go back and look at stuff. And so I don't even like looking at the rankings, to be honest with you. I hate them at the preseason. I hate them
Yeah.
early on. So I just, to me, it's like, yeah, great. Even like Texas is ranked 11th, right? Right after Notre
Mm-hmm.
Dame and things like that. And you're like, okay, great. Let's see how that works out, and things like
Yeah.
that. Vanderbilt is ranked lower. And I'm like, for me, I've been really impressed with Vanderbilt this season. I get that they look less impressive now, but I still it's like for me, it's all subjective, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
I think it's hard to even say, yeah, these are the best rankings ever, or no, these aren't really great. I think you just have to kind of figure out right at the end of the season, okay, it's time to decide who should be in and who should be out.
Yeah, and so much is going to happen over the next month, but it gives us
Yeah.
something to talk about, and it kind of
Sure.
adds a little juice to the games as we go down the stretch.
Yes. Yeah. And absolutely, and especially now, I mean, let's be honest, you're paying more to the
Hmm.
college football playoff rankings than you are the AP poll, right? So
Yeah.
that's a totally different system, totally different. The way they do it is totally different. So if you're looking at rankings now, you need to look at the college football playoff rankings. However, you're exactly right. They change so much. For me, it's that last one that you go, okay, this is what they're looking at, and this is the last one before they we
Hmm.
actually find out who's in. And that one, well, that one you can kind of see where they're leaning or what they're thinking. So
Yeah. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how all that plays out. One thing we do know, there are openings in college football. As we take a look at the 12 openings, if you had to rank the top five in order, how would you rank the top five of these open jobs?
oh my gosh, that's such a hard question, and I feel like people aren't gonna like my answer. Um, for me personally, I know a lot of people would say LSU is the top job. I disagree with that. I
Okay.
disagree, and the reason why is because it's so much right for coaches, and I only say this coming from being a coach's kid.
Yeah.
Coaches look at athletic departments and resources, right? If they don't
Hmm.
have somebody giving them direction or somebody at the top that they like, and they see all that turmoil going on with the governor and this, and then their AD gets fired, there's a lot going on. And for me, I'd go, let's just figure out what's going on there first before jumping into that basket. I honestly think all of that went on hurt LSU more than it helped them in the long run.
Hmm.
Just because I would have, if I was the governor, I get it. You're fed up. And I totally understand where he's coming from. As a fan of college football, you have to get annoyed at these crazy buyout numbers
Oh
that are
yeah.
going on. You have to be annoyed. So I understand that. He kind of was speaking as a college football fan and less of the governor of Louisiana at that time. So I get that. However, I don't think it helped them because every coach in the country is going to go, what's going what's happening there?
Yeah.
What's going on? So I think you need to figure out some things there. So that's my justification for why I'm gonna say for me, I don't like Florida either. So for me, it's gonna be Penn State. It's gonna be the top job
Okay.
open. So I'm gonna go Penn State first. Then I am gonna go LSU. I am because I still think they're a top job. I just don't think they are the top job open. Because if you look at Penn State to me, I'm going, hey, there's still pressure at Penn State, but not like the SEC and not like LSU. So I think that job is a little bit more attractive, especially with the resources they have. I
Hmm.
know, hey, they're going to give me whatever I need to succeed. They're going to be behind me. People are going to be behind me there. I think I could stay a little bit longer, you know, to establish a
Yeah.
career there and a good career. So for me, I'd take Penn State. Okay, that's number one. LSU is still number two. I know I didn't drop them very far. I just don't think they're the top job open. So
Yeah.
LSU for me is next. Then I think I think I'm going to go Florida next after that because Florida is very there's issues with their administration and Scott Strickland.
Hmm.
And for me personally, I don't know if I'd want to work for Scott Strickland with that issue, with issues over there, with how he
Yeah.
hires, with what he does, and just kind of the turnover they have as well with that position. I don't know if I don't know if I'd want to be that right now. I think they have
Yeah.
some stuff to figure out, but I'm still going to rank them number 3 because they're a good job and they have resources. They're going to get resources. Recruiting in Florida is awesome, so I'm going to rank them third. I'm going to tick off Arkansas fans here. I'm going to tick off Arkansas fans.
Okay.
I'm really really sorry. I think I'm going to put Virginia Tech over
Ooh.
Arkansas.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm worried because, and they're very close for me, these two
Hmm.
jobs. I just worry. You hear right now, and we'll probably get into this, and I don't want to take
Hmm.
too long on this because we're probably going to get into this. But right now, there's a mad dash for resources, I feel like, at Virginia Tech and Arkansas
Yep.
because they want a similar guy. Actually, they don't want a similar guy. They want the
The,
same
the
guy.
same guy.
Shouldn't even say
Yeah.
similar guy. The same guy.
Yeah.
Um, I'm not even going to beat around the bush. Yeah, they both want James Franklin. So
Yep.
there's a mad dash for resources right now at both schools. And I think both schools are making an effort to get those resources. For me, I'm nervous that Arkansas doesn't have those resources in hand
Mm-hmm.
unless people step up and prove me wrong. Make me change that ranking, okay? Make me
Yeah.
change that ranking, guys. I want to see people step up. I want to see them get the resources. So for me, it's going to be Virginia Tech over Arkansas for that. And I think that's my top five. Unless I'm forgetting somebody that's open,
Auburn?
no, they're out of my top five. No,
Really?
because
Okay.
and it's only because I just feel like Auburn fans and their administration, they're going to expect a lot up front. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
not as well versed on, I know Auburn has resources, but I really do think Arkansas, I, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to give Arkansas fans some credit here. I think
Mm-hmm.
Arkansas is motivated to get someone in that is really, really talented and really, really good. I don't know if Auburn's going to get somebody in that motivates the fan base. I don't know. I
Yeah.
so for me, I guess what I should say is 4, 5, and 6 for me are interchangeable. They're all
Yeah.
tied. They're for me. They're tied at fourth. There you go. All of them are
Mm-hmm.
tied at fourth for me. So
Yeah.
that's how I feel, honestly.
Well, and you could make a case for Virginia Tech too, being in the ACC. Their path to the
Right.
playoff is going to be a lot easier than at
Yeah.
Arkansas, who's at the bottom of the SEC.
Yeah. And you're talking like pressures. You're also looking
Yeah.
at that as a coach. You don't want to go to a program that is going now, not that it's not fun for the challenge, but if you
Mm-hmm.
have a program that you feel like, hey, very quickly with the resources, I can turn this thing around and I can get them in the playoffs. For me, as a human being, I'm gonna go, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's gonna be a good spot for me. So that's another good reason. But again, it all goes back to resources,
Mm-hmm.
resources and who the administration is for me. And so that's why those three are like tied for
Yeah.
fourth for me. I don't want to
Yeah.
really rank them separately.
Yeah. And that's why the top three are the top three. Because let's face it, those three have the most in resources. So
Yep,
totally makes
absolutely.
sense. All right.
Absolutely.
All right. We're gonna get to it now. The Arkansas search. It appears from what everyone hears, and you can verify from what you're hearing in the central part of the state, but it sounds like it's James Franklin or bust at this point.
Hmm. Yeah.
Is that a good plan? Because he's a Jimmy Sexton agent, and Sexton does not work quickly, and Franklin's going to be in high demand. If you go in on Franklin and you don't get him, I mean, you don't know who's going to be left on the market.
I agree. I agree with you. But I do think they have a backup option. I do
Okay.
think that there may be somebody in the wings. I wouldn't be confident on saying who that is. I don't think it's Silverfield because there's a lot of people that were like, talking about the Silverfield news, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that all started from rumors on social media. I'm
Oh,
gonna be
there's a lot of
perfectly
clickbait
honest.
out there. Yeah.
Right, right. And because I had a lot of people reach out to me and people who are
Mm-hmm.
very tuned into Memphis and what happens there. And they're like, um, this is not true. You know that, right? And I'm like, oh yeah. I get. They kind of said to me like, hey, we don't know where this came from. We don't think this is true. And look, they very well may be looking at him, but I feel like somebody somewhere clued in, or
Mm-hmm.
or if they are looking at him, my Memphis people are going to be like, um, yeah, so maybe we've heard this or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I feel like I've heard very, very confidently that hey, they are looking at James Franklin. They are trying to target him heavily, and they want to put together a very big NIL plus salary plus coaching salaries for his assistants
Mm-hmm.
as well in this large package, right? And they're
Yeah.
going to put together this package to go up against Virginia Tech and see if they can beat them. I've also heard from Virginia Tech the same thing. They're like, "All right, we're gonna try and get money together and see if we can play ball with this deal." So I don't know who's gonna win out. That's why I get nervous because I'm going, well, they could have those resources. Arkansas could have those resources. who is going to win out in this? This is where I get nervous, right?
Yeah.
Because then, even if your number two is Silverfield, or even if your number two is, let's throw another name out there, Sumrall, or let's Golesh, right? Let's
Yeah.
throw out all of those names, okay? They could have other jobs by that point
Mm-hmm.
that this doesn't go through.
Yeah.
And this is why I feel like Arkansas, when people ask me, well, do you think it's going to be at the end of December? We'll find out. I said, I think they're trying to actively get a deal done this week, the bye week. I think the bye
Mm-hmm.
week is a great, people have told me that's a great week to get stuff done. If you can have a coach in place, right? Let's say deal signed before the end of the season. You can
Mm-hmm.
have him announce, you can have it leak to the media, let's say the week before,
Mm-hmm.
the last regular season game before Missouri. Then the week after the Missouri game, you're announcing him. You're getting a jump on everybody else who may not have announced their coach yet. I think that's a really good position to be in. I think Arkansas knows that as well, that they would like to get something done, paper signed, let's go, so that when the end of the season hits, because Arkansas ain't making a bowl game. Arkansas
Yeah.
ain't making a bowl game. So when
Mm-hmm.
the end of the season hits, hey, we're done. We're focusing on next year. We've got a coach. Here we go. Come on, recruits. Let's go. And I think that just puts you ahead of the competition.
Yeah. I mean, it's good if they can do it, but then there's the Jimmy Sexton factor, and I've heard. I believe Silverfield is a Sexton client. So
I don't know. I can't confirm with you on
yeah,
that because I haven't looked into him deeply as
yeah,
like a candidate because
yeah,
I've been focused on other people, quite
yeah,
honestly.
yeah,
Um I just feel like there's other people ahead of him. I'm not saying it's not a possibility,
yeah.
but
No,
it's definitely not what these clickbait accounts are saying,
yeah.
and
Well,
putting out there. There's such thing as a smoke screen, y'all. There's such
mm-hmm.
thing as a smoke screen.
Well, and
So,
when it comes to a Sexton client, he is, and if he can leverage Arkansas against Virginia Tech, he's going to, because that's his job. It's
yeah.
unfortunate for the schools bidding for him, but I mean, So, with all that in mind, is there any chance Bobby Petrino ends up with the job?
No. No. I don't
Okay.
think so at all. I really don't. I mean, I feel like they've already had the conversation with him to say, hey, we're not going to go with you, my friend. And
Mm-hmm.
I think he just kind of understands that. I mean, again, this is me speculating here, but I
Yeah.
really do believe from the information I have been told that he knows that he's a long shot, right? He
Yeah.
knows that. So, yeah, that's what I'm speculating here that they've
Mm-hmm.
had that conversation with him. The way that we're hearing about other names and the way that we are hearing, even national media, they clued in a little bit
Yeah.
too. Your local media is really, really good. Your national media is quite clued in as well
Yeah.
when they have certain sources. When they're leaving him off the hot boards and leaving him out of the conversation, you know that something has been said or something has been said to them that's like, no, we're looking other places.
Good point. Really good point. Yeah. So it appears just going to let the season play out, and Petrino, we'll see what is next for him. All right, let's talk basketball. It's a little more upbeat. Razorbacks just played one regular season game, big game Saturday night at Michigan State. You've seen one game, but your initial impression of this team is what, and what's a realistic expectation?
Well, technically, we've seen three games. I'm counting
Well,
those
that's true.
exhibitions too.
Okay, fair enough.
I was in Memphis. I was in Memphis. So, and I go to say we have three games because they didn't play some nobody in their exhibitions, right? They
True.
played Cincinnati and Memphis. So we do have to count them into how we've seen this team perform. I've said this, I'm going to put this out there for everybody. This team can get to a Final Four. This team absolutely can. I've said it multiple times on multiple shows. However, I go back to what Nolan Richardson always tells everybody. He's told me personally as well when I sat down and interviewed with him. It's not just about being a good coach or having a great team. You can be a great coach, you can have a great team, and you can still not make the Final Four or win a national championship because the tournament takes a lot of luck. It's the luck of the draw. You can get a bad draw and it can be bad. However, this team, if they get a good draw, I might. put them all the way for national champions. Seriously,
Hmm.
they are just that good. And the reason I say this, Blair, is because they have depth. They look
Okay.
really good in every facet of the game. They're athletic, they're talented, their basketball IQ. You have everything you need. I love the bigs that Calipari got and added to this team. I love Trevin Brazil, how he's looking so far this season. The freshmen, Malik Thomas and Darius Acuff,
Yeah.
were probably, Calipari hit the jackpot with those two. Hit the
Hmm.
jackpot. You cannot hate on, this is why he's a coach, people. He hit the jackpot with two freshmen that definitely do not play like freshmen. That 100%. When I talk to Nick Pringle, he's been playing in the SEC for quite some time now. He
Hmm.
knows good talent. He said, I learn things from them. I sit by
Oh
them in the
wow.
locker room because I learn things from them. So there you go. You have all the pieces to do it. I didn't even mention Billy Richmond, Carter Knox. I didn't even
Yeah.
mention DJ Wagner. I mean, you have all the pieces. So go out and do it. Go out and do it. I mean, there's not going to be bumps in the road. I believe they'll lose. I really do. They're going
Hmm.
to. They're
Yeah.
not perfect. There's still things to work on. You can't give up 12 threes in a game. I mean, I get it. You still beat Southern, but you can't give up 12 threes. You can't give them good open looks. That's going to lose you ball games down the stretch. And so I do think this team can go as far as they want to. They have all the pieces. Luck needs to be on their side. Obviously, they got to stay healthy too. That's important
Hmm.
as well, but they have all the pieces.
Well, and plus, how much of a factor is playing the schedule that he's got them playing, especially non-conference? I mean, they're they're playing everybody that was in the Elite Eight. I mean, that's only going to
Yeah.
make them better, right?
Yeah, yeah, and it's only gonna make the resume boosters, right? They're called resume
Hmm.
boosters, right? And like you
Yeah.
look at quad one wins and quad two wins and quad three. If you jam your schedule with quad one wins or even losses, because that counts, guys, that
Yeah.
counts. A quad one loss, it still counts. That looks all good on your resume. And in
Hmm.
and all of it couples together. Cal knows that. He's not going to panic if they lose to Michigan State by 3 points. He's not.
Yeah.
Now, there are going to be some things that he will want the team to get better on, but this schedule sets them up to get a good draw in the tournament, hopefully. That's the hope, right?
Yep.
Getting this team will make it to the tournament. They will. I'm putting it out there. They're making it to
Two-minute
tournament. They stay
warning.
healthy. They're making it. So there, I know the 2 minute warning. They're
Yeah.
making it. They just got to get a good draw.
I don't know why the audio didn't play. Dadgummit. But all right. So, at what point of the season is it fair to expect them to kind of hit not the peak, but to be playing at near their peak? Is it late in the conference season, or I mean, when should they kind of start to hit their groove? Do you think?
Well, you never want to peak too early. Every
Hmm.
coach will tell you you never want to peak too early, right? That's something
Yep.
my dad has said for years and years and years when playing basketball. He's like, I would rather you get the losses done in the non-conference slate. I'd rather you figure it out then. And I'd rather you lose to a better competition like Michigan State, someone that's a quad one, right? Rather than,
Hmm.
oh, maybe a UCA. Not saying it'll happen. I'm just saying
Yeah.
that would be a lot worse. You want to peak when during that conference season, February. You want to be
Okay.
peaking at February because if you're peaking at February, that's going to look real good to everyone who's now tuning in to see what you can do. That's when people are tuning in. That's when people are looking at how you play and are saying, wait a second, this team's really hitting its stride. I mean, genuinely, there are teams that have played bad at the beginning of the season. You guys know this, that will make the tournament at the end of the year because they hit their stride. I mean, look at Arkansas as a great example. Had a horrible start to the non-conference slate, hit their stride at the end of the conference season. They still made the tournament, ended up going to the Sweet 16. People look at that. So you definitely want to get your losses out of the way early. You want to be hitting your stride in February.
Makes sense. Well, remember Alabama started number one, didn't even make the tournament at the end of the year. So
There you go. There you
crazy.
go.
All right, Courtney, appreciate it. Thank